What if the worst thing that ever happened to you was actually saving your life? Not metaphorically, literally. What if the accident, the failure, the loss was the only reason you're still breathing today? Before you answer that, let me tell you about a man named Arjun, a quiet farmer from the dusty plains of Rajasthan, whose life will make you question every single thing you've ever called a disaster. Arjun was not rich. He had a small mud house, a modest patch of farmland, and a family that worked from sunrise to sunset just to survive. He owned very little except for one extraordinary horse named Bodil, a magnificent black stallion with a silver mane that seemed to glow in the morning sun. Bodil wasn't just livestock. He was Arjun's pride, his legacy, the one thing that made strangers stop and stare. One afternoon, a wealthy trader passed through the village. The moment he saw Bodil, his eyes went wide. He offered Arjun a fortune, enough gold to feed his family for a decade. The entire village gathered. Neighbors whispered. Even Arjun's own son held his breath. But Arjun calmly shook his head and said, "Some things cannot be measured in gold." The trader left empty-handed, and the village erupted in laughter. "That fool just threw away his future," they said. "Just an empty stable and a broken rope." The same villagers who mocked Arjun for not selling now mocked him for losing everything. Arjun looked at him and said something strange. "We don't know yet if this is a loss." His son stared at him like he'd lost his mind. 1 week later, Bodil returned. And he didn't come alone. He brought 6 wild horses galloping behind him. 6. The village fell silent. Overnight, Arjun had become the wealthiest farmer in the region. But Arjun didn't celebrate. He simply said, "We don't know yet if this is good either." And he was right, because 2 days later, his son tried to tame one of the wild horses, was thrown violently, and broke his leg in 2 places. Now, here is the question that should stop you cold. What if that broken leg was the greatest gift his son ever received? Weeks later, the king's army arrived and forcibly drafted every able-bodied young man from the village into a brutal war. Of 23 young men taken, only 9 came home. But Arjun's son, lying in bed with his bandaged leg, was left behind. Untouched, alive. Every disaster was a disguise. Every blessing carried a hidden test. Arjun never panicked because he understood one truth most of us forget: you cannot judge a chapter while the book is still being written. So let me ask you this: what disaster in your life might actually be protecting you right now? Think about it carefully, then drop your answer in the comments. Your story might be the exact thing someone else needs to read today.